somewhere. I don't know where, but it's not going to go on. There we go. It's not going to go on YouTube. So, this is the Temple Classroom, and things are just changing. Just to give you guys a heads up. So, this is what I've just been away for 3 weeks. Actually, visited Avalon, so I was lucky to go there. And this is kind of what this group is all about because I'm going to be talking a lot about it on YouTube, but things are changing. So, what I'm actually shifting with, because this is all about embodiment, I am now going to do less teaching videos on YouTube, and I'm going to record more of my meditations because I feel that those are just medicine in a pot. So you will like get a guidance video, and then we're going to feel more in our bodies because I think that we're all in agreement here that it's like been really, really intense with this process we've been going through, purging in the body. I mean, Dorona, like we would like I've been talking to Judy, and she's obviously thundering forward with her healing, and I mean, getting ready to sprint up the pyramids, you know. So yeah, so everybody's having a physical experience. So of course, like my work definitely has to change to kind of support that. So now we are, just to give this classroom a title, all right? So this is basically today. I mean, we've already gone into Mercury retrograde, so we know what that's all about, but it's Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which hits a little bit differently. It does hit a little bit differently because it's about how you feel, how you kind of like how you feel and how you talk to others, who drains you, who supports you. It's kind of going to be a revisit of all those things in light of where we're going. So this class is going to be a bit shorter, but it's like an energy update. So there's a line in the sand as we complete on February, and then we're going to be moving into March, and then we're really going to get cracking with all of this. So we are it's a reset energy basically. So we have got like Uranus or Uranus, however you want to say it, Uranus and Taurus, and it's Mars in Aquarius. And it's a strong urge for freedom. There's our fire horse, and it's a change where you just actually said, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. I'm actually done. And it's really an energy of knowing what you don't want to do. And even though you don't know what you do want to do, it's like a strong push to like that thing, not doing it like that anymore. And it could be negative thinking, could be what I can tell you is it's heavy and it's burdensome and it's been with you forever. Hey, Tori, I'm so glad you could dive on. I literally spoke to Tori about 2 seconds ago and said, hey, I'm online in 3, 2, 1. And here she is. Hey, girl.
Hi.
How's it going? So yeah, so just you haven't missed much. I was just talking about the square off that we've got going on today. And I mean, excuse my French, but I've actually written on my pad here, no fucks given. Like we're not doing that anymore. We've just got to the point where we are like at the end of caring as much actually, and I actually think that that is the entry system into our next level, because as empaths and really sensitive people, what our role has been in the old world is holding for ourselves, holding for everybody else, and that's now done. Okay, because let's I mean, Tori, I know that you know what I'm talking about. You know, you're like right in the thick of that, still holding. So we are on the cusp. Some of us are going to show their lives that they've kind of made the shift already. Some of us not yet, but we're basically all popping like popcorn. So we're all going to eventually gather speed. So the worst thing we can do is compare and despair because we think, oh my God, look at them, they've nailed it. And it's like stay in your lane, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna come right for you. It really, really is, you know. So strong urge for freedom, massive change, like sudden radical change, breakthrough. This is the shift, but also frustration and impatience is coming up. I've been sat in this office today. My husband works outside the office there in the dining room table, and he's got a business going with my son. And let me tell you, I was doing God's work in here, and I had to say, "Could you two stop fighting?" So I had to kind of step in, and it's unusual because usually Fiery Sekhmet here is going nuts about something, and I wasn't today, you know? So yeah, so there's all this like big energy. So everybody's a little bit kind of like fractious, and it's that Mars energy, and there's the Aquarian energy that because we're just such innovators. And then I mean, I know Taurus is all about coming into the earth. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, you know? So the second thing I wanted to talk about was reset energy. If something's not working, let it go. You know, I mean, I know, Tori, obviously I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm just saying I know in your situation it's a lot more personal. You can't just like some things in our lives are, you know, kind of like looking after sick relatives, or it's a health issue and you can't just say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be fine. But when you're in those realms, I really do believe, and I've always said this, that if it's not something you can physically just drop and let go of, and it's something more ingrained, I believe the way the energy works is it burns from the bottom. And this is going to be a really gross analogy, but let me just go there anyway. So when you burn a wart off, okay, I always used to do this with the kids. You get that dry ice and you burn it off and you look at it and you're like, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Bloody thing's still there. And then all of a sudden it burns, 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 and then it pops off because all the energy and the work was going on from the core. And you think from the outside looking at it, thinking, shit, it's still the same. And then all of a sudden it pops off. And that's why I've always said this kind of energy is about. So there's going to be a sudden change in direction, right? So do not fear what's on the other side. If you have a situation which you can't click out of, that's what it's going to look like. If you have a situation where just negative narrative, just hanging out with the wrong people, doing the wrong business, whatever it might be, okay, do not fear what's on the other side. Now, I know a little bit about human design. So a lot of us are mostly generators. You get your manifesting generators, but I know that it's a sure sign of a generator, but then kind of in humanness in general, that situation might not be working, but we don't want to let go of it because it's like, well, this is not ideal, but there's a fear of like, well, if I let it go, what's behind it, And I'm going to use myself as a perfect example. I have been for 11 years thundering along social media teams. I do all my content myself and everything like that. That is 100%. But I've had support where people post things for me and they just support me and they help me with my website. And after 11 years and the final dollar spent, I'm like, this is just not working because I tried to make it working because that's the right thing that we have to do. Oh, you're a manifesting generator. You're the same as my son, Tori, So yeah, very similar. So with my personal situation, I woke up yesterday and I was like, I'm not doing this way that I want to express my business in the world because it is absolutely exhausting. And why was it exhausting? Is because I'm trying to run something very, very sacred through an old template, which is the old world. We are all on the cusp of our systems feeling the old world, what it's like to be an empath in the old world and what that meant. And we're on the other side, part of us has already left and we're in the new world. So it's all a little bit like that right now, but it is a process nonetheless, right? So also as well, not fear factoring here, just being very real about it. Like I think it was about a week or so ago where the solar energies were really, really high. And they were just like, if you follow the Schumann resonance, the graph was just white and it was just firing, right? And I felt really yucky in my energy. And I was in London. I was not well at all. And it was this parasite energy, right? So the thing is, we got to remember why we came. We are the empaths. We are the ones that hold and feel and all that kind of thing. Or rather, yeah, we basically hold everything together. And then I felt on this for 2 days, just feeling so, ooh. And I thought, is this my stuff? And when I tapped in, of course, there's always a bit of shadow inside of us, but there's a lot of collective stuff going on. So we really must remind ourselves, and I know that we all know this, but we tend to forget about it, that not all of this energy that you're carrying is actually yours. Okay, it's what's going on in the world. And I'm just going to talk about those files that everybody's talking about. It's like we're not even interacting with that. That's just an observation to show that the great detox is underway. However, we're going to feel the energy of the world, so be really discerning about how much social media you watch and all the rest of it, because now I'm going to give, not everybody is allowed to get access to you from now on, right? I think before, because we were all like, let's save the world, let's save everybody and do our thing. I think what we used to do is like hold the temple door open for everybody. And it's like, all is welcome. We can't be like that because that just basically burnt us out. It's okay to actually be discerning about who you let into your inner circle in whatever that might mean, whether you teach circles, whether you're a business person, a friend, or whatever it is. That now we have to be very discerning about who we let into our space, because we're going to be very supported by this new world that's coming online now. And it's going to be very different for us, but the old world, the old habits can't come with at all, so not everybody gets access. Now, I am I shine bright. My power is kind of quite full on like Sekhmet. I don't really scare about things too much. I know it's there, but I choose not to go with it. I'm all about the high vibes and less focus on that. However, here's my story. So about 2-3 months ago, I was driving to the other side of Cape Town, and I was on my WhatsApp, and I was like, got my phone holder there, driving, trying to get to a hormone appointment because I needed help. And like, I'm now talking to everybody on WhatsApp. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I'm channeling, I'm holding space. Next WhatsApp, channeling, like helping them. And then I get to the car park, and then my daughter phones and she's having an absolute meltdown. So now I'm like, oh, okay, late for my appointment. I take the whole left side of the car out because I'm too busy holding space here, right? And I shouldn't have been. And as a result, I just destroyed the left side of the car. Never crashed a car in my life. Oh my God. So anyway, it was all a laughing joke in our family because I'm always so perfect with the car, but it was my left side. Now, true story. To about 4 days ago, doesn't matter how long ago, but it was on the 222 portal. That's when it was. I was so close to dropping off my car to Avis. I happen to have the kids who live in London in the back of the car. For some reason, as a family, we're in this car. So I'm now driving towards, I'm in the right lane. I'm correct. I can see the officers there. There I'm going. A big London bus came to my left side. I don't know why he thought he could turn right because he's not allowed. And he drove off. And as he drove off, I shit you not, he took out the whole front end of the car, left side, boom, boom. And I sat there with everybody in London like, oh my God, are you okay? I was like shaking because I saw it happen. I was like, this guy's not going to make it. And he took out the whole left side. Anyway, it was all very kumbaya. We all got it sorted out. But my point is, 2 car accidents, left side. That's my blind side. Left side is your emotional, your spiritual, all the rest of it, right? I, funnily enough, have a frozen left shoulder perimenopause. So I thought, or is it though? And I think that maybe a lot of us have been carrying a lot of energy, a lot of shady shit for quite some time. And we need to pay attention to that. And I'm never, ever about fear mongering. This is not, it's about alignment because that's what protection is. If you're going to protect yourself through fear, you're going to create much the same. The reason we put protection is to make ourselves come into alignment, make sure everything is tickety-boo, connected to the cosmos, in here in our physical, anchored into the earth. Now, anything other than that, that's going to be a problem. So I've been shown in no uncertain terms that there is interference coming in the nature of where we are in the world. The whole world has not just gone bonkers, it's completely left the building. Everywhere. So we got to kind of be realistic that like, even though we might not be involved in it, we're kind of still holding space for it, but we're not going to be doing it for too long. But we need to be very, very mindful and heartful that we're not going to be doing it for too long. Otherwise, you're just going to carry on. It's now your time. It hasn't been our time. We have basically suffered, toiled, struggled, gone through such heavy stuff, and we still are to a point. But that was our job, but it isn't why we came. It was our job, but it's not why we came. We came for this moment forward. Okay. So now protect your energy, spoken about that. Now, the next thing I just want to tap on, because we're going to do some meditations and some clearing today. Now, what is really clear, this is how it's going to work. This is how it's going to look, right? So I've been banging on for the past few months about the sacred architecture, especially with Thoth, right? So the sacred architecture, now the old architecture gets broken down and a brand new one becomes present. Ultimately, it's the divine masculine that's going to take us to the promised land now, not the divine feminine, because we're coming into land. So we're talking embodiment. We're talking about physical body presence, right? We're talking about your soul essence coming into your body, which probably hasn't done that before in its full essence until now, so it's a brand new thing. Okay. So this is unprecedented times. So what's happening is the energy is like basically your soul essence is coming in and going, right, I'm really coming into land now. That is what you're feeling. That is why the pain in the body has been so rife, whether you actually are having major physical issues or whether you're just like me walking around like a creaky scarecrow and it's just like, and everything hurts. Do you know what I mean? Everything hurts. It's like, oh my God, my elbow hurts. Then it's just like everything creaking and cracking because it's memory. It's deep, deep, deep seated memory. When you go through any initiation or any immediate purge, whether it's over years or just one day, what happens is you go through something and then the body starts to actually purge the codes out of the body. And that is the memory of the experience that you're actually going back to revisit. So it's one big memory letting go of, and what needs to happen now, if we can consciously do this, because it's very much a physical experience, is that we need to make space. Like our main issue now is like, or not issue, our main focus now is to work with the physical body, create enough space for it to allow your body's healing intelligence to come online. Because what's happening now is we have our guides. Sekhmet, let me tell you, she's incredibly quiet, but she's there. She's like sitting on my chair. No one's talking to me. And the reason no one's talking to me, which they so kindly told me the night, they said, because the focus on your guides is not going to be so intense as we had it before. That is now going to turn into the I am presence because they are who they are that, right? So this is what's actually going to be happening. So you're going to feel maybe a little less chit chat. Don't worry if your guides aren't talking to you as they were. Remember, that's how we channeled and that's how we communicated in the old timeline. But now we're coming into the new timeline. Everything's going to change. Your support is going to show up in a different way. But if you're coming into embodiment, we don't need all of that big chat from spirit because we can't get into our bodies. Now we're coming into our bodies. The I am presence streams in. Your soul essence comes into land. Your body's physiology completely changes, and we just need to hold the line so that changing of the guard can happen. So do I mean that we're not going to have conversation from spirit? Absolutely not. Of course we are. But the thing is, it's going to come through primarily through us. All this time we've been stepping away from the post, going to other people that channel, give me a tarot card reading or whatever it might be, because we've had to just reach to get information. But now it's all going to be coming into a full presence here. And you're going to experience your channeling and how you go about your business in a completely different way. So this is definitely a line in the sand, right? And it can always be a bit chaotic because, as I said today, frustration and impatience. I don't know about you, but because I know so much has fallen away and I've closed on a lot of things, I keep trying to speed it up and I keep trying to jump a fence that hasn't got to me yet. And I'm like, so where are we going? What are we doing? And I just need to calm the F down. So you kind of find yourself going, hang on a minute, come back. Hang on a minute, come back. So you don't have any answers. You don't have any direction. Are you directionless or are you actually fighting your present moment, which is really, really calling to be heard now? Because in the present moment, there is no urgency. In the present moment, there is no anxiety or guilt or fear or anything like that, right? So this is a question that I want to ask you guys now. So how you're showing up in the world, right? So is it wrong in what you're sharing? Like, I need to completely drop that habit. Or is it more about the how? Okay, so don't throw the baby out with the bathwater because this energy and this level of transition is going to be showing you all sorts of newness. And it may be that, like, you've been doing things a certain way. And then because I'm speaking from my experience now, the changes that I've been through, I mean, it was my 50th when I was away, my 25th wedding anniversary is such a line in the sand. And I've come out of it now kind of like with all this clarity. And then I started to freak out because I was like, is everything I'm doing wrong? Oh my God, it's all wrong. And it's like, I don't know my purpose. Then I got really angry with spirit because I was like, listen, dudes, my whole gig out there in the world is about purpose. And now you're making me look bad. So it's like, now I'm back on track, guys. It's all good. It's all good. So this is where we're at. So you're going to have all sorts of questions where you're going to be freaking out going, oh my God, do I need to change? Do I need to change? Certain things are going to happen. Do not deny it. It's going to happen to you all of a sudden, radical change. And that's going to shake the shit up in you a little bit, right? So you have to be really grounded and asking yourself going, hang on a minute. Is it the thing or is it the how? And that was what the message was. I mean, I was just talking to Tori about the Stanton Drew stones. There's a beautiful stone circle actually in half an hour outside Avalon. And it's very untouched. It's like the Council of Elders. And I leant up against one stone and I was like, what now? And they said, you feel far too deeply to be showing up the way that you are doing. And I was like, well, does that mean I need to stop what I'm doing? And they said, no, it's the how you choose to show up, and that is why I simply made decisions that suit me because it's got to work for you. It has to work for you. People, places, and situations. So those things that are really, really kind of like, grinding your gears, as it were, even if you don't know what's behind it, let it go. Let it go, make space, and then allow the body to actually just guide you because this is a big embodiment thing. Now, as you guys know, I'm going to Egypt and I'm taking my group with Sekhmet. That is a very, very powerful line in the sand, kind of like pilgrimage, given the timeline that we're in. And today I've just been rewriting all of the Avalon stuff because last year it was very much about weaving the Egypt and Avalon energies together. They're getting closer and closer and closer. There is more Egypt presence in Avalon now than there's ever been. Even my friends who actually lived there were like, I cannot believe the explosion of Ankhs and things like that. So it's happening. It's going down. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about embodiment. It's all coming into one place now, and we don't have to go over there to get the water, and we don't have to go over there to get the fire. It's all just coming into one place. And then as it weaves, that's alchemy, because when water and fire come together, it's ether, So it's like really, really interesting what's going on with the energy. So today I was actually Yeah, sounds like a discernment thing too. Yeah, I agree with you, Tori. It is. It's a discernment thing. It's discernment actually, I'm glad you brought that up, has been my most favorite word lately. Discernment, discernment, discernment. And I think because we've been so heart opened and everything like that, and that's an imbalance in itself, hence why I'm talking about the two elements, water and fire. That's been imbalanced. And we've just felt that we've had to show up for everything and everyone and be there, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. And isn't it the way when you're like, well, if I have to close my doors to that, oh, shame. No, because like my husband said to me, he said, basically, which blew me out the water. He says, you're not loyal to yourself. You're loyal to everyone else. And I would like to argue that. And I basically couldn't. And I actually thought to myself, whoa, actually, everything I do, I don't come up in it. I always suck it up, buttercup. If I'm tired, I'm like, it's fine. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Do you know what I mean? And this is how I do the Egypt tours. I'm just like, right, let's go. And I have a capacity to do that because I can hold a lot of energy. But I've not been questioned to look at it. So are you being loyal to yourself? Can you, if I asked you to get your journal and go and write on your pad, like I'm like, where am I loyal to myself? That's going to be an interesting project. So maybe that will be your homework. Okay. After this is just say, where am I loyal to myself and see if you can list it. If you can't list it, maybe list where you're loyal to everyone else and just be like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Because that's where these realizations and clarity is coming from. And it's not to be horrible by not being there for people, but we know the deal. We know the deal. If we're there for ourselves, then we are there for everyone else. But we've been there for everybody and not getting to us. So this is a very, very big shift for the very sensitive empath. This is a big turning in the waters. So I was writing about Avalon, and the land always speaks to me with Avalon. It's like, look, the land is ingrained in me with Egypt, and I've very much embodied that place and Sekhmet and all of the things that go with it. But Avalon is very different in its frequency. The land speaks resoundingly loud. And even though she's divine feminine, it's like, yeah, it's non-negotiable. So I've been sat here with almost like writer's block going, right, I know what I want to do with Avalon, but I just couldn't get it into articulation. And then today it just started firing. And everything to do with this pilgrimage in Lion's Gate is actually about embodiment of the solar energy. So solar is Egypt, Lion's Gate, Sekhmet, whichever way you want to read it. Embodiment of the solar energy, bring it into Avalon, that's like into the water. So it kind of like backs everything, but it's about an embodiment experience. So you might find water and fire turning up in different ways for you. And it's like, get that in balance now, because obviously solar energy is all about doing and the water energy is all about kind of like flow. But when you're too much water, you're passive and you're procrastinating and there's nothing there. There's no container for the water. It just spills everywhere. But if you are too much in your fire, you're aggressive, you're destructive, you're jumping fences before you should. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and you burn out basically. So balance or burn out. This is what the fire horse is teaching us, especially if you're a fire dragon or anything like of those fire signs. I'm a fire dragon, so I got a big year ahead of me to try and figure out how I don't set myself on fire, which happens often. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just like, shit, you can't write this stuff. Can't I be like a water pig or something? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, look up your zodiac. That's really important. Chinese zodiac. See how it works with the fire horse and just be aware of your traits, okay? Because there's always going to be a challenge for mastery in anything that we do, anything. This year, as much as it's the fire horse and it's all awesome and lovely and everybody's excited about it, it's still going to come with challenge because it's basically we're on the next level of mastery on how we can harness that power, okay? So we're going to go into a short meditation here, and then I'm going to take you into a longer one, which is all about, funny enough, the dragons, actually. So I'm going to ask you to just get comfortable because this is more of a grounding exercise, actually, more of a grounding meditation, right? And we're going to bring in your guides, all of your star teams, all of your council, and we're going to bring them close so we can go through a reconfiguration, as it were, because in our minds, it's our minds that hold, because we're human and it's the principle of mentalism, we think about things in a certain way. It's time to change your mindset and allow your guides to become more expansive and free. Meaning, if we allow the I am presence to come in and they blend into that consciousness, then you don't just have access to a little bit of them, you have access to them all. So you've got this beauteous blend of Merlin, the dragons, a Sekhmet, whatever. So it's really, and I would like you to revisit this kind of concept more and more and more now, and allow the embodiment process to take place. Okay. So with that being said, get yourself in a comfy space and just closing your eyes and just taking a nice big deep breath in. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And take another big deep breath like that, breathing in, belly rises, chest rises, and exhale. And then another one like that. Make it your biggest one. Draw the energy all the way up, belly, chest. Hold. And exhale. And now allowing your energy field just to settle. Feeling everything come into a more quiet space. And just being very well aware of your physical body. Become well aware of your light bodies. Become aware of the breath, breathing in and breathing out. And how you wish to breathe. Always bring it in through the nose and then out through the nose. And allowing the breath. You may want to switch to Ujjayi breath, closing off the back of the throat. Inhale. A slight pause at the top. And as you exhale, just letting it all go. Now, as we allow ourselves to be still, we got time, nowhere for you to be. And when you still yourself enough, you realize that everything is sweet. Everything is fine. Everything is stable, even if sometimes you may not feel it to be so. And we're just going to sit in this presence and this stillness. And as I said those words, Mary Magdalene and Yeshua stepped in at the same time. And they're bringing through this really calming, soothing, loving presence. There is nothing else to do except receive this. And just feeling like that energy coming into your being, like so familiar. It's known to you. It's like honey nectar, though. It's soothing. It's rich. It's like, and there's much gold that swirls around you. And as you place in your mind's eye, or you wish to do it physically, place your hands on your heart. And you really connect deeply with your heart codes, with your presence of your own heart energy. Really taking a moment to slow it all down. So you can feel the magic and the energy, your spirit being held, divinely held by the physical vessel. And Yeshua and Mary Magdalene stand either side. Mary Magdalene is on your left and Yeshua is on the right. And they are raising their hands, their palms towards you. And they are sending you loving, healing, soothing energy. And as much as it's becoming a masculine frequency from Yeshua, it's as beauteous and gentle as Mary Magdalene's. And together it just moves in and around you. And you start to feel your physical body speak. Because we must not forget that the physical body is indeed a living, breathing entity of its own. And we must not forget that how we have been, I suppose, forced to live, how we've been forced to live in the conditions and the environment We've forgotten about our physical body. We've forgotten about the days when you thought you couldn't go on. The pain in the physical that you thought, I just can't do another day. The pain in the body that brings the grief and the ability for you to feel very powerful emotions, being painful ones and joyful ones. And also the physical body that knows what to do when you get a fever. It will burn the energy out of your being. It has resilience and it has so much love for you. And it is only now that we're really bringing our focused attention to our physical bodies, for they have been rejected for lifetimes, especially in this life, when it comes to the rejection of whether you are thin enough, too fat, not functioning properly, skin issues, whatever it might be. We've felt that our physical bodies have let us down, when really the truth of it is the physical body was fighting for your life, for your light, and was fighting to cross the threshold to the new earth timeline, of which you have done. And Yeshua speaks and he says, let it be known, or rather not forgotten, that he and Mary Magdalene came and placed powerful codes and opened portals deep within Gaia that were ready to be accessed and activated at this time of change. That was the whole purpose of him ascending on the cross. And this is why this moment, this time, as intense as it might be, deep trust, deep faith must be embodied. Because without that, there's nothing. And this is just energy. I'm tapping in to see if there's anything else that they want to bring. And it's just love, support, and healing, gentle healing. Now they are sending energies and frequencies into your light bodies, clearing out anything which is dense, disorderly, and obsolete. So as you feel the presence of their golden energy and frequency, so they're moving around you now in a circular way. And you mustn't worry about that. You're just here to receive. But they're walking anti-clockwise, but facing each other. So they are weaving their energy. They're weaving their healing frequency. And as the physical body starts to come online, it is pointing them in the right direction. So your mental body, the thoughts, the parasites that really ignite that fear, that doubt, lack of trust, for that is the lower frequencies. And that is the cycles that we get stuck in. And they are clearing all of that energy out now, for it was just noise. It's just noise. And it was planted there, not by you, by the world around you. So have a very, very strong sense and feeling of the energy that they are now ramping up just a little. They're increasing their frequencies now because they are cleaning. And what they just showed me now, they always liken to the sacred vision. This is not so sacred, but those power hoses that you clean driveways with. And you can go up to a white wall, which looks gray and dirty, and you can just spray it one time and it's just shining clean. That's kind of what they're doing, like a jet wash with their energy in your mental body. And you may feel it a bit like a dentist cleaning your teeth. It's a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit tickly, a little bit like, oh, it's right in there. So allow Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. They're actually laughing quite a lot because they find it quite funny, because I've gone all tickly as they're getting into certain areas of my field. It's making my body itch in certain places, but they are blasting away, clearing anything that's been planted there. It's not yours. Thoughts of, and I'm going to revisit them so you can release them. I'm never going to get there. I'm not supported. So much doubt. What's the point of even trying? I'm abundant blocked. That's not true. That is not true. I'm unloved. All of these feelings of despair, They're blasting that out of your mental body now. And there's no attachment to this. None whatsoever from you. You didn't put it there. Something else did. So why hang on to it? And as they start to like now clean everything now, I can see your mental body just shining. And there's a great reveal underneath now. And it's almost like your energy field can breathe. It's like restoring a beautiful fireplace and now discovering that it's this stunning fireplace from the 1700s. Beautiful. Why would you want to cover that up? And all of a sudden, that energy now is sparkling golden. And there is just vibrant thoughts coming from your mental body now. And your physical body is breathing a sigh of relief because it has to communicate everything that's in these light bodies. So your physical body is responding to your light body, which is your mental body, being cleaned. So we let go of all of that, and there is just much more positive energy now going. And I wish to just bring this to your space while you're in an expansive field, and you have me, you have Mary Magdalene, you have Yeshua, and all of your team around you. And now it's just, yeah, we're going to figure it out. We'll be okay. This is what it looks like when it works out for me. Not to use joy and success and all of those things. We meet you in the middle. This is very Hermetic principles. It's stability. It's safety. I'm safe. I'm stable. I'm supported. I'm on a journey and I'm going to get there. It doesn't look great now, but it's going to look amazing very soon. I know it's all going to come right. I trust my higher self. I trust my team. I trust spirit. I know that they have my back. I know that I am supported. And like I say, we're going to figure this out. So that is a lot more. I can feel that going into the mental body now because I can actually feel it in my third eye and I'm going a bit dizzy. So that means it's reprogramming. And now Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, they shift their energy now and they come to the emotional body. And the emotional body is just the heaviness. The emotional body is actually quicker and easier to clear with your mental body is obviously addressed first, because for you to experience emotion, you have to think something first. So the absolute core of your presence and power is always in the mental body. And as we've given that a good clean, we're now very easily able to release and let go of the falsities of the thoughts of emotions, which are doubt, fear, anxiety, and they're now moving their energy out now for that second ring of your energy field. Okay, so we're letting go of all of these negative emotions, fear of what's going on in the world, being too overly invested in the horrible atrocities that you're witnessing on what you're being told by the news. We're not doing that anymore. That's just emotional implants. So we're clearing all of those emotional implants and all of the fear that is being fed to you in ways that you're not conscious of. So we're clearing all of that. And we're allowing the possibility, hope, potential, the feelings of lightness within your being. Not anxious, maybe anticipatory. So now cleaning that so it's becoming beautiful, golden and light now. And then we move out to your spiritual outer ring. Now, this is an interesting one because Mary Magdalene and Yeshua are cleaning it, and it is really being cleaned of any false opinions that have been made by others that you've taken on. So this is a very important ring that we're working on now because it dictates, governs, guides how you connect to spirit in the most expansive way. If you have limiting beliefs to do with the spiritual side of things, then you're going to be limited, right? And it could be that you are reading too many books, listening to too many other teachers like me. But it's like, that's how it could feel. So now this field that we are all in right now is all about bringing in the absolute potential, your soul's essence. Your soul essence, your higher self knows everything, absolutely everything. You do not need opinions from the other side. So we're reinstating, restoring the original essence of the I am presence in this outer ring now. And Mary Magdalene and Yeshua now stepped back from the cleaning process as such, and they are sending so much energy and light to that outer ring. And it's all sorts of colors. So what color are you? Maybe you're a bunch of colors, but this is like really expansive. And I just feel your fields all just opening up now. And it's now able to reach the all mind. It's now able to reach beyond the multiverse and the universe. And it's almost like you've just taken a really, really tight pair of skinny jeans off and you're like, oh, okay, let there be light. And Mary and Yeshua are stepping back like their work is done kind of thing. And now they're stepping back and they're holding space because now you have expanded and there is a lot of golden energy around you. We now, while you're expanded, address the physical body and we call forth the body's presence and intelligence and speech. And I want you to really connect with your physical body now. And I want you to really feel what they're speaking. I want you to just, maybe if all you can do today is just to tell them how grateful you are that the physical vessel never, ever let you down. It may have shown signs that it is, but it's not really, because the physical body is just giving message for what was in your light bodies, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So you can tell your physical body, you don't have to work so hard anymore. I'm listening. I am listening to what you have to say. And I am giving space for your healing intelligence to come online, for it has been capped and withheld for so long. And you understand this. So now we're going to take a couple of moments. And Mary and Yeshua are still sending the energy to us to keep our vibrations clean, pure, high, and help the physical body now step into its full role. I want you to listen to what your body has to say to you. Let your body speak. Now I want you to visualize in your physical body all of your cells, your blood, your veins, your organs. And I want you now to ignite the light within. And I want you to run that from your heart. So imagine you were inside your body and you are your heart. Crack that open, man. Allow your soul's essence, whichever way you want to connect with this, allow it to now explode from the inside out. And I want you to really, really feel, because we're not bringing the light into the physical body, because remember, this is your soul essence. This is now, your frequency has never been fully held in your body for lifetimes. This is a very rare moment that you're going through in this timeline. It's in you. It's always been in you. So wherever, allow your energy to go. Don't necessarily have to do what I'm telling you to do, but intuitively go. Where is it inside of you? And I want you to give your sacred command in your own words and say, you can ignite now. I'm bringing space and awareness so you can now, golden energy, come from the inside and out. And let it run how you see fit. Run it through the organs. Run it through the blood. Run it through the cells. It's like you fired up an old generator, but it's not that old actually. And it's pumping and everything going. And it's like, woo, okay, let's do this. It's been lying dormant for such a long time. And the physical body, I mean, I'm feeling pains in my left shoulder because I'm finally acknowledging my body. It's like, yeah, can you feel this? I can feel the energies moving. So you might feel certain old injuries, body parts, things going on, but you say, I am that I am. I am the presence of the divine in physical form. Physical bodies do not rot. Physical bodies do not fall away. Physical bodies do not come to an end. because they're consciousness. And I know that. And it is now this physical body with all the light is allowing the merging with your mental body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. So there's a coming online, there's an awakening, and this might go on for some time beyond this session, beyond the days. But now we call in your councils of light. So here you are. We already have Mary and Yeshua, and they are stood holding that beautiful divine masculine and feminine presence. And you are there now. Your body's fired up. The energy is going to keep running. You got your light bodies, and now you're calling in to the I am presence. And you're really opening up because you now do not feel that separation between the all mind. And all of your star councils, of which are massive, by the way, are all coming in. Even star beings from distant realms are paying attention right now because we're all one. And you finally acknowledge lifting your head from your feet, looking up and going, oh yeah, there's this. And as you open to the power of the divine, even though you were always connected, it was just your human that was putting a cap on it. But now we're not doing that. You have a presence. There's so many. You see Sekhmet, you see Thoth, you see Hecate, you see all of the guys. Some you know, some you don't know. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of beings there. Not people, beings. And now you feel them all blend into this beauteous, magical golden energy. And it all constitutes to being part of the consciousness. The oneness wisdom flows through you now, part of that consciousness. And now they blend into that essence. And I want you to drink in that essence. May come through your crown. It may actually just come through your arms because you're opening to embrace. Yeshua and Mary are now standing behind you to support you as you bring in all this energy in. And what's happening is there is a decluttering. So you will not be overly focused on just waiting for a God to speak to you or goddess to speak to you. That voice comes from within you through your filter, the I am presence. I am that I am. I am that I am, and I am the divine in physical form. And now we bring all of that magic down and we ask the human who's beautifully merged with the higher self, what does that look like in the world? What do you really want? Health, wealth, an abundance of life, meaning, eating good food with good people, surrounded by people that don't want to do you harm, surrounded by people that adore you and love you, because that is the divine mirror that is coming from within you. There's all these beings that just get you. There's no competition. They're the same as you. We change our vibration now. We move into a completely different world in this way. Now, Mary Magdalene and Yeshua have now stepped in as one behind you, and they've entered into your being. You might feel that now because they're coming in from behind. And Mary, she sits on the left, and Yeshua sits on the right. Now what I'm being shown is this beautiful tri-flame. And that tri-flame is a beautiful pink flame on the left. The right flame is the blue. And together, in the center, you are the golden flame. And that light never goes out. Doesn't matter what. It never goes out. Feel your heart energy open, especially your high heart. And that is your system accepting what you have just brought in. You say one more time with your hand on your heart now. I am that. I am. Taking a nice big deep breath into that there. And exhale. Just allow that presence to swirl around you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. I'm just going to pick a card, do things very differently today, but I know where I'm going with this. So just work with me here. So, Tori, you and I were talking about the altar. It says lay it on the altar. What? What? Hand it over, soften, surrender, and forgive. So that is like that's what's going to happen right now. And now I understand, Tori. That's why I sent you those stones because I felt like that as well. I was like, whoa. So lay it on the altar. And it's very golden energy as well. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's like a very, very golden energy card, you know? So I have a feeling that everybody else has fallen asleep. So- but Tori, do you have the capacity to do another one? Because I have one more I wanted to share with you. Do you have the time? Okay. Because this one is actually a dragon one. And it was a vision that I got this morning. And I thought, well, I have to share this today. So I'm going to take us straight into this is more like an activation now of the new way in the path. And you know what's going on in your spacesuit. So you know what I mean? As we all do with our own lives, you know what I mean? So work with it as you will. But it was yes, it's very Mary Magdalene again, isn't it? Because it's all dragons. So let's go straight into that. And we're going to bring in some fire and some positivity. And not that that wasn't, but that was just a very, very deep meditation there. So now closing your eyes as we're in the magic of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And I've been reading so many books this morning about Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, and particularly the dragons. And just talking about the dragons now is that they are exploding onto Gaia through the volcanoes that are exploding everywhere. The dragon energy is now becoming present, and it's very much to do with the fire dragon as well as the fire horse. So, just taking a nice big deep breath into the energy and presence we've just come out of, but we're still in it. Okay. And I want you to now, so we're not going to have to do our breaths or anything because we're still in that vibration. But this is just a short meditation to kind of bring you into a place where you can work really positively beyond today, especially with the fact that we're in this powerful four trine. There's this 4 point, not trine, sorry, opposite, four square, 4 point square. And it's going to just, any patience or any frustration, we're going to blast it all out the way. So you're going to visualize yourself now and you're walking barefoot in a very, very dark, but you can sense and feel it's a magical forest. You can just feel by the vibration. And even though it's dark, it has the feelings of the underworld. It's not aggressive or dangerous. It's just dark. And as you walk along the path now, barefoot, you can smell the earth. You can feel the energy. And this is a place you've been here for quite some time. The underworld, I mean, you're quite happy now, but the underworld, as we know, can give us all sorts of experiences. And we can go there to rest, or we can go there traumatically and not willingly. So it has all sorts of experiences for us. But for this time now, as we're walking, we are coming out of the forest. And as we walk, each step you take, you feel a fizzing and a kind of igniting of energy in your being. And as you walk now, you start to feel the forest not being so thick, and it becomes a little bit less, and you can start to see the light ahead of you until you open up, and it's a big open plain, like big open field. So all of a sudden, in the sky above you. So you've now left this dark forest, very indicative of our timeline right now. And as you walk, there is just expanses of landscape ahead of you. And as you walk, you become very aware. Suddenly, the ground starts to rumble underneath you. You don't start walking, but you carry on. And it gets louder and louder and louder. And suddenly you look behind you, and there are just so many horses running, like a herd of them, like wild horses. But when you look closely, you can see fire flicking from their hooves. And then the closer they get, the front runners are actually on fire because they are the fire horse. And as they run, you start to run with them. And very weirdly, you start to keep up with them. but they're horses. And as you look to your right, this beautiful stallion next to you, flashes of fire in his eye. He's beautiful. Fire just bellowing off his being. And the faster he runs, the more he ignites. And this is much for the herd. And it's just so tremendous to be part of this velocity, as it were. And you're running and you're superhuman right now. And as you run, you can feel the fire in your being because you're just feeling like freedom. I can let go. Everything's going to be fine. And you're just running, running, running. And then suddenly something starts to happen to you. It's almost like you've raised your frequency to such a high intensity that your fire gets so high because you're running with the wild horses that you start to feel the fire in your throat, in your belly, and you witness yourself turning into a dragon. And you, first of all, you see your wings. Then your feet all of a sudden are like little claws. Then all of a sudden you have this beautiful long tail. And before you know it, you are now running with these horses, but you have turned into the most majestic, powerful fire dragon. So you have the dragon and you have the horse. And you're now, it's weird because you're looking through the eyes and you're like, this is my eyes, but I am now running with these horses, lots of fire energy, all the fire around me. And as you run now, the horses, even though they're only ground animals, they start to run and they start to take off, just like an airplane in flight. And this is what happens to you as well. You are now flying with the horses. You have taken flight, this powerful, majestic dragon that you know yourself to be. And suddenly there is a big, deep feeling in your heart as your dragon heart starts to pump. And as you look down at your chest, you can actually see, you can visibly see that this beautiful lion's heart is just thriving. It's pumping and you just feel more powerful, more and more and more. And the faster you fly, the more shit burns off you. And then all of a sudden you start not being freaked out now, you start to enjoy it. And as you're flying through the ethers with the fire horses beside you, you are now looking down at the ground. And there is a little bit of debris and it's all starting to get a little bit messy down there. And you're like, but this isn't my future. I need a clean runway. And you open up that fireball in your throat and you start to breathe fire down on the ground. And as you do so, you start to just enjoy it. And there is such a freedom and a release when you burn away all the debris that is on the ground and you clear that space. And before you know it, the landscape is just burning. And it was time for all of that old shrubbery, old trees that have died long ago, old houses abandoned, all of that kind of stuff. You're burning it up and you're flying around and you're circling. And as you come in for the last final time, you come in velocity, strength, power, prowess, and you give a sudden surge. And now this is your path in your life. That surge now is you firing that fire down into the ground. Now, what is it that you're seeing that you're creating? What is it that you're going to land into? You're burning away everything so you can come into land. What does it look like? How does it feel? You just follow this tremendous, beauteous straight line of fire breathing. And it is just one big, massive road in front of you. And then all of a sudden, it's time to land. And you slowly circle and you just come down to this barren land now, which has been burnt to a cinder. And as you land and your feet touch the floor, the horses circle around you. The fire dissipates, even in the horses, even in your own energy field. And as you land, you see little tippy toes landing on the ground. Barefoot again, are you? Shapeshifter you are. Absolutely. And you look at this pathway ahead of you and all around you. And suddenly you feel a magic and an energy beneath your feet. And there are tiny little green sprouts bursting up from the earth. And this is what we do. This is what we do in Africa. We burn the lands and we create new growth. That is how our lands burn very, very well. And we bring a good harvest. Powerful creations come from the earth. And that is what you've done. And as these green shoots, they pop up, suddenly they're popping up everywhere. And I want you to now really go in to the energy and frequency of this now. Gaia is popping up shoots. Gaia is growing again, new life. And I want you to tap into the energy and the frequency that you feel beneath your feet chakras, hands on your heart. And I want you to ask Gaia and ask the new growth of these shoots, your inner dragon, what am I creating? What's my next logical step? And I mean that as in what are you going to do in the next week? Not in the next 6 months. What is your next logical step? And it may be that you have to let go of something. It may be that you need to move towards something. Let it be known that when you do make your decision to something that calls you, you may feel vulnerable, you may feel exposed, but worry not, for as you take your first few tentative steps, that is when the sacred architecture will wrap itself around you. And there is nothing for you to do, but remember that it will not wrap around you until you take your steps forward. This is about trust. This is about truth. So what comes to you? What are you being called to ask or asked to, what are you being called to do? What are you being asked to do? What can you feel deep down in your being that you really need to move towards now? It may be moving home, ending a job, starting something new, but it has to be immediate within the next week. So let that land. And it may not come to you now, but it will definitely come to you in the coming days. Now the horses, they're tired. They're walking around you. They've surrounded themselves around you. There's a nose blows and nudges from them. So much love from the fire horse. And that is the teachings of the fire horse. They won't be on fire and go, go, go forever. The principle of rhythm, allow the upswing and the downswing, move with the cycles of life. Now it's time to bring your energy field in a little. Start to become very well aware of your physical body in the room and the seat that you sit in. Bring your energy right into that space and ask Spirit to just close your energy field to a point that is safe and protective for you, that allows you to be in alignment. So, as above, so below, so within, so without. Feel yourself anchor into the earth, into your Earth Star chakra, your root star chakra. Remember, it's all about embodiment. It's all about grounding. It's all about the physical. And as I said that, I felt us all just... And we give our deepest love and thanks to Mary Magdalene, Yeshua, all of your star council, the fire horse, the dragon that lives within you. You must trust. You will and are being taken care of. So when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Hello, Debbie. Right. Need my glasses on for that one. Hello. So glad you could make it. We're on the tail end now, but it's fine because I will send you the recording. I'm quite hot from all the fire energy, you know? And it's a lovely intimate group as well, which sometimes I really, really like. Love doing big groups, but I do love doing like really small groups as well. We get to the point. Okay, so we're going to pick another card now just to round off the session. So let's see what this one comes out with now. Okay. Nothing is impossible. I'll tell you in a minute. Hang on a second. I'm going to do 3 for this. Right. Nothing is impossible. Okay. Open to the unexpected. You'll find a way. And what was I just saying? You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. You'll get there. You know, follow that light. We got to have trust, guys. This is going to be the most intense time right now for all of us because we're so fucking close. And then when we get, isn't it funny that when you get so close to that feeling, that's when we doubt the most? And we're like, but we're so close though. Why are we doubting like that? It's just let it go. So nothing is impossible. And I totally agree. Returning, spiral journey, growth, renewal, healed. That's how we're leaving the old world, right? In fact, what we're actually doing is we're returning to the original essence of us. The origin source codes is that you are the I am presence. There was nothing wrong with you in the first place. All of that is just basically what I call the spider web dance. Have you ever run through a spider web and you do that? There's nothing there. It's exhausting. But it's like the same. You've got to change your mindset. Everything comes from the mental body. Change your mindset and go, oh, there's the spider dance again. You're just fucking around with stuff that's not there. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and you think it's there. It's not. That's the whole point why we call it an illusion. Because of what I've just brought in, or what we've just brought in, is that you're absolutely fine. You're the I am presence. You never were not. That's the whole vibe. And then soul agreement. Soul mission, soul plan, life purpose. What beautiful cards. Now that screams to me, that is the now and moving forward, right? So we're not going to believe the hype. We're not going to get wrapped up in that bullshit. Honestly, I know it's hard, but try and stay off social media as much as you can, particularly TikTok. Listen, I'm not on TikTok personally, but I love going on there because I like the spiritual content. But that particular platform, I have to clean myself a lot after being on there. Do you know what I mean? So, and like I say, I'm coming off Facebook and Instagram. That's also a bit of an issue to me. Always going to be on YouTube though. Not leaving there because that's my playground. I like it there, you know? But it's all of these little things. So as you're going through this tentative time of like not being there anymore and coming over here, there's a lot of openness. So like I say, just keep everything cocooned. Keep everything cocooned because you're landing, it's happening, and nobody's going to get in the way. And just to finish off this as well, there is something in my journals that I used to make for my tablets of light towards the old ones. And there's a page in there, it's called the continuation. And it basically means that you haven't got this far before, you've surpassed it. Do you know that every single time that you've come back for a life, you're like, oh shit, got that far, start again. It's a bit like playing a video game. You're like, I always die on level 3. You know what I mean? And that's what we've done. Do you know you're on level 4? Which is why you're spazzing out and kind of going, oh my God, do you know what I mean? This is just memory. Your body thinking you're still in the old. So do you see how this is all just ether? You know, you've never got this far before, and you have to tell yourself that daily, because the way that you're going to land this is not through another ayahuasca or another mushrooms, whatever. It's about being present, being here, having strong talks with yourself. If something comes in, no, F off. I'm not doing that. I'm staying here. So you've got to be quite assertive in a physical way, staying on track, you know? But as I say, I'm going to be creating a lot more meditations, because I feel that that's going to be more beneficial for where we're at moving forward. And you're going to feel it in your body. And it's like, yeah, that's really going to shift frequency more so than my teaching videos, even though they're so amazing. But it's like, I mean, I say that now. I love teaching. So you'll probably just see that nothing changes. But no, in all honesty, I need to bring in more frequency so we can feel. We'll still do the temple. But it's like, now over to you guys. You got this. So it's basically an embodiment process, and we walk it together. So with that being said, I'm always late, supposed to finish at 6, but never mind. It's all good. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. And it was a lastminute.com, so I appreciate you. I was like, oh, I don't know whether anybody's going to be able to jump on a call because I switched it to Friday. But just like, I'm back in Cape Town now, so I'm going to be sharing a lot more of everything, really, you know. And obviously, I'll give you a heads up for the next temple meeting. But thank you, my lovelies. Always good to hang out with you. And I'm going to go walk the dogs now. Go and ground a little bit, you know. Lots of love to you guys. Mwah. See you on the next one. All right. Bye-bye.